What a lot of men complain about though is in the midst of the criticism is you making me responsible for your feelings as I express myself. So now you flip the whole situation. I'm expressing a concern to you. Now you get emotional and you upset. Now I have to coddle you now. I never get to truly communicate how I really feel to you.
That's real.
I also think like a lot of women haven't been as good at communicating as they think they are. Where this is less of a critique and more of an attack.
Yeah.
Where because of critique, I'm an artist. I have mentors. I have teachers. I'm used to getting red pens off through my work.
Right.
Because but it's a this is why I crossed this out. You could try this, see if this works. This was unnecessary. If we sit down in a relationship and those are the things you tell me, I didn't like what you said to me here. This is how it made me feel. This is how I like to be talked to. Not you always running off at the mouth and you think you could talk to me any old type of way. And I'm like, whoa. This is how I talk to everybody.
Level of tolerance as well.
This is true. This is true.
Very intolerant, and they have to work on that. A lot of women still operate in trauma, and your trauma is going to make you intolerant. Your insecurities will make you intolerant. And so until you gain that tolerance, which there's a such thing as silent tolerance in a relationship, until you gain that, everything will feel like an attack.
So let me ask.
If you don't give this to your husband, he'll look for it somewhere else.
The number one thing your man needs from you, and if this doesn't come from you, he'll look for it elsewhere. By the way, I'm Ashley Lima, and I teach women how to bring out the alpha in their man. So if you like stuff like that, follow me. Now, if your man doesn't get this from you, he will go looking for it somewhere else. Not necessarily in another woman, but in work, in hobbies, in his friends, because something inside of him is starving. The easiest way to meet this need is simply by the way you speak. When we nag, complain, and criticize, what he's hearing is, "You're not enough. You have failed, and I do not appreciate you." That pushes him away and tears down your home. But when we speak with softness and kindness, even the simple please and thank yous or greeting him when he comes home, he feels that on a deep level. Honor and respect. He needs this like food and water. And a wise woman knows this is her secret superpower. Your words can either rot his bones or be the wind in his wings. If you want to start becoming the woman who builds her home up instead of tearing it down, comment guide for a link to my ebook, The Words He's Been Waiting For.
Everybody think the man is supposed to sacrifice his life for everybody else, and he don't get no reward, no enjoyment for it, and there's no return on it. The man's happiness don't mean nothing to nobody. The man's peace don't mean nothing to nobody. The man ain't appreciated, homie, till his presence is no longer there.
Get up.
No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna do.
Melissa, I come home from work. The house is all dirty. What do you do all day?
I've been working.
Working?
Just because you go into work and I work off my computer doesn't mean anything.
Working? It looks like you haven't been working because the house is all dirty. The dishes are still out. How about you go clean them? Like, because it's your job.
Those are your dishes.
I don't care. It's your job.
It's not my job. I'm your wife.
The woman.
Ever since we've gotten married, why have you started acting like this?
You are the woman. It's your job. You know what? I'm gonna go find another woman, alright?
Go ahead.
It doesn't even matter.
Go ahead. I don't
care.
I'd rather be with someone that does 50-50 and doesn't think the women...
Go get someone that does her job.
Okay, good. You go find someone. Good luck. Good luck finding someone that's gonna put up with your bull.
It's not bull. Now get up. I'll make you do the dishes.
No,
How about that?
You're not making me do anything.
How about you get up
away
and
from
go
me,
get
Tom.
the dishes?
Don't touch me.
Get up.
No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna do
anything.
anything. Back away from me. I'm serious. It's not my job.
Then get out of my house.
Okay, I will.
Early in my marriage, don't beat me up, ladies. I'll tell you why. My wife said to me one night, "Sean, I left some food on the stove. I need you to put it away before you go to bed." Bet. She goes to bed. I go to the kitchen. There are 4 pots on the stove. I take each pot. I neatly put it in the refrigerator. She came down the next day and said, "Why did you put the pots in the refrigerator?" "Because you communicated, put the food away." I did what you said. What did she mean? Put it in Tupperware, saran wrap, aluminum foil. Said none of that. I grew up in a home. We put everything in the refrigerator. Pots, pans, with grease in them, bowls, cups. Everything went in the refrigerator. I couldn't read her mind. Now some of y'all say, "Oh, that's weaponized competence and you should have known." How should I have known? I was doing what I've always done. The point is, break it down. Specifically, with specificity, that word.
Well, there's nothing to beat him up about. She didn't communicate as she should have, and she didn't know to communicate. She didn't know to say that. But this is what men are saying. People grow up in different backgrounds, different cultures, different ways of doing things. And it seems like men are the only ones penalized nowadays. And it's called weaponized incompetence because the man can't read your mind.
A broke woman who makes no money, struggles to pay her rent and typical basic bills every month, calls men that can't send her to get her nails done a brokey or sassy. Delusion.
Because if a man comes along, and this is terrifying to me too, I'm not even gonna lie. If I met a man today that was very patient, that he was loving, he was genuinely kind, he was soft in his words with me, he didn't look down to me from my circumstance, he didn't expect me to explain my existence constantly, like the woman said, what you've been through. If it gets out to the room, then everybody thinks that it's an interview now, they have the right to question you. If he didn't treat you that way and he was behind you in your corner the way a woman would be, but with the solutions of a man, I would be scared of that man. I would be very scared of him. Because that man will expect more of you. Because the man who gives you the most compassion is going to expect the most growth. And he's going to create the circumstances for the most growth. You have to be an exceptional person with a person like that. Women are not afraid so much of the man itself. They're afraid of the consequences of who you might need to be. But they forget that a man like that is not going to be a tyrant over you. They're going to genuinely love you. They're genuinely going to create the circumstances for success. They genuinely care about your performance. They genuinely love you. They're scared of that because they think they don't deserve it, and they know it's going to be hard, and they don't want to disappoint somebody. And they don't want to disappoint a man because that man will give them a critique, and if they're genuinely in love with that man, it will break their soul in ways that I can't even explain. Because it's like all those other people abused me, and they didn't love me. But if you love me, and I disappoint you, and you genuinely love me, then I have failed as a human being, and I don't deserve life. That's how women feel. And it's not reasonable, it's not rational, because everyone makes mistakes and everyone fails. This is also why having a good father is important, because he'll push you to do things that you don't want to do, but you need to do.
Nobody stole your girl from you. She chose him over you. She chose her future. God saved your future. Know what I'm saying? Think about it. Stay woke in the streets, like Big Britain.
The bar is so low that women are like, he listened to me. Isn't that great? They brag. We brag about them listening.
The bar is so low for women that we literally hear men brag that she didn't make him pay for all the mistakes of the past men that were in her life. The bar is so low that men brag that she cooked once for him, that she replaced the toilet paper roll. She didn't leave hair all over the shower wall. She actually put gas in her car or went and got an oil change by herself. She didn't demand a lifestyle from him. Instead, she paid her own way. She actually used words instead of the silent treatment. She didn't make him guess why she was upset. She didn't start an argument because she had a dream that he did blank. She communicated her needs without attacking his. She didn't act like his mom. Yeah, men don't like that. She didn't take everything personally. Instead of competing with him, she supported him. She said thank you.
If women liked men, why don't women listen to men when they talk? Why, if women liked men, why anytime a man speaks about what's going on with him, why they call it mansplaining? So he can shut up. If women liked men, why aren't women seeking to understand the people that they say they like? Because men understand a lot more about women than women understand about men. And men have to understand women. You know why? Because sex don't come easy to y'all. You have to put in the work to figure out what a woman wants in order for you to get, which is what most women do. I want a man that's going to do this, that, and the other, but everything you saying that you want him to do is what women do for men, not the other way around. So women are actually looking for a woman in a male frame, because the reality is women just like sleeping with men. They don't actually like men. If a man turn her down and she can't get her way, you must be gay. If women like men, then why is that the reality and not women actually seeking to understand the party that they say they like so much? You like a man, then why are you trying to change everything that makes the man the man?
Do you ever notice how it's always working moms and never working dads? We always just say, oh, he's their dad. But mom always needs like a descriptor, a precursor. Well, is she a working mom or a stay-at-home mom? It's the same vibe as when famous people get asked in interviews. The women always get asked, well, how do you balance it all? How do you balance being a mom and a professional? Versus men are never asked that question. How do you balance being a father and a professional? Because it's just understood and accepted that men can work and also be parents. And people aren't questioning whether they're letting someone else raise their children. And people aren't questioning whether or not they're truly committed to being a father, or if they're selfish for going to the workforce. No one would ever say a man is selfish for working instead of staying home with his kids. He's not a working dad, he's just a dad. And once you see that double standard, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
We really got to get a hold of ourselves. We really do. We really do. You don't ever think that maybe that's what they expect a man to be? I'm not even going to attach working to it, because that's what you should be doing anyway. Men used to go to war. I mean, what would I be attaching working dad for when the two are kind of the same? Like, man work, it's kind of the same thing. If a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. Man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. So why would I say working dad if it's understood that he's going to be working? That's why they don't really, well, nowadays, they are a little bit more hip to the idea of paternity leave. But we don't have no paternity leave back out here in the old days. You'll be working. You'll be working now up until the time that you retire, if you do retire. Paternity leave. Think my dad, when we were born, they told him, he was up there at the hospital and he had to go home and take care of some stuff. Even through my mom's pregnancy, he still had to run around and take care of things. And I think he might have missed us actually being born, but he came in right after. Does that make sense? So men are expected to be doing these things. So I'm not 100% sure what the deal is here.
Do you think your spouse should have access to your social media or somebody on your...
The answer to that question is always yes. If you heard that and said or thought to yourself, no, then I have a follow-up question for you. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? Because if you tell the person you love most in the world, no, you can't have access to my phone or my social media, you're hiding something, and we all know it. See, me personally, my wife can't find her phone sometimes, so she'll come to me and say, hey, babe, can I use your phone? My immediate reaction, here you go. I don't know what she's going to look through, but I don't care. She can look through anything and everything and use whatever she wants on my phone or on my socials. My wife came to me the other night, and I'm sitting there texting on my phone late at night. She goes, hey, babe, what you doing? And I immediately flipped the phone around and showed her. I said, I'm talking to this dad who's struggling right now. I am 100% transparent in my marriage. My wife can see or ask me anything. I tell her everything, so she never has to question it. In the years we've been together, my wife has never come to me and said, I want to see your phone. But if she did, I would know that she has doubts or concerns. So my immediate reaction would be, here, look through everything. Go through anything you want. Search everything. Because I, as her husband, would see that she has doubts and concerns, and I would want to immediately put those doubts to rest. Go through everything you want. Ladies and gentlemen, if your person, if your husband or wife cannot be that open and honest with you, I'm going to ask why you're with them. Because a person that truly loves you will let you have access to their mind, their heart, their soul, and anything and everything else you want access to. When you say you want to marry someone, you are saying you are going to give all of yourself to them and open up everything you have to them. And that is what I give and do for my wife, and that is what my wife does for me. We have full trust in our marriage because we always treat each other like this. Anything and everything you want to know, I'm here to give it to you, so you will never have doubts or concerns about me. That's what a marriage is. So if your person ever comes to you, or you go to that person and say, hey, can I see your phone? Or hey, can I look through your socials? And they say no. Or try and say, well, that's my private property. That's my private place. My guess is that they're hiding something. And you maybe might need to think about finding another person. That's just my thought. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I'd appreciate it. Like and share this video. Dedicated AF Dad. Out.
Men can be the victims in abusive relationships, and there is not a lot of information out there on what that looks like in heterosexual relationships when the man is the victim and the woman is the abuser.
I abused my husband. I pushed him. I screamed at him. I yelled until my throat was sore and all the neighbors knew my business. I would get in his face, curse him out, slam doors like it was my full-time job. And every time that man would build me up, once I started to learn his pattern, I would take so much advantage of the love that he would give me.
Have you guys noticed that most married men aren't actually happy? Most married men are lying to themselves and gaslighting themselves into thinking that they're happy in a marriage which is loveless, sexless, where the woman always argues.
I will literally bully my husband every single second of every day, but I'm the only one that can be mean to him.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop being mean to that man before it's too late. I don't know what this is psychologically, where like you'll be with someone that you secretly have resentment toward. If you don't truly feel strongly about that person, you don't belong in a relationship with them, and treating somebody like your rag doll is just such an awful thing to do to anybody.
Oh, guys, I yelled at my boyfriend this morning for like the first time ever. You know, my boyfriend, the angel boyfriend that was literally making me breakfast this morning while listening to classical music. Yeah.
Let's talk about something most men don't even realize, that they're being emotionally or mentally abused by their partner. Yeah, it happens to men too.
If my husband talked to me the way that I talk to him sometimes, I would be in a literal puddle. I am so mean to that man.
Unfortunately, we live in a culture that loves to demean men. You watch all the sitcoms, all the movies where men are beat up and put down by their wives like it's a sport. Like the women are looking for a medal at who can be funnier at the expense of their husbands.
The amount of you women that hate your husbands is beyond me.
And I think out of all of those in that little compilation right there, this is the one that gets me. Because once again, modern women, they want men to read the room, but they fail at it every single time. They get on here and they brag about how terrible they are to their husbands, how incredibly crazy they talk to their husbands. And they say, man, if he would have done that to me, then I'd have been distraught. I'd have wanted to leave that man. But now all of a sudden, when it's you ought to be able to talk to anybody sideways. You ought to be able to say whatever you want to say while you're sitting up there eating whatever snack it is that you're eating, probably in a car that your man helped you pay for, and still gonna talk to him crazy and still expect him, when you talk to him crazy, to get you a little treat to make you feel better after you didn't just trashed him. What kind of world are we living in?
You know, I never really considered that until your book. Until I heard the title of your book and I read the synopsis of it, I never really considered it. I never considered that thinking about your problems all the time and talking about your problems all the time literally make the problems grow.
That's right. I mean, it's the number one symptom of depression is what they call rumination, this pathological obsessing over your pain.
Yeah.
That's why stuff like exercise, that's one of the reasons, aside from chemical reasons, one of the reasons that doing anything, you know that running errands is good for your mental health? Getting out of your house and accomplishing anything is good for you. But sitting around talking and thinking about your problems, That's a bad habit. And the best cognitive behavioral therapists and others, the dialectical behavioral therapists, the ones who do really well with depression, the first thing they do is try to break that bad pattern. But a lot of therapists just indulge it.
I just don't understand how the most basic level men can leave America, travel to these other countries, and just pull absolute tens, like the hottest girls that you will ever see. And these men, like men that we wouldn't even look twice at, are just pulling them and convincing them to date them. Like, I truly don't understand it. Can someone please explain to me how this is happening and how these men are able to get away with it? Also, like, how can we stop this? It's out of control, and it's getting to a point where it needs to be stopped.
Okay. So she's super jealous of this new reality where guys are disgusted with American women in this country because it's really becoming like a pandemic of sorts of just horrible behavior. And they go to other countries and they meet women who want to be in their feminine, right? Because they haven't been indoctrinated in the same way.
My husband is an absolute genius. Let me show you what he did in our basement. Last year, we were finishing the ceiling in our basement, and we have these I-joists. We did not want a drop-down ceiling, but we did want an accessible ceiling. Like any other DIYer, we scoured the internet looking for a solution, but we didn't find anything that we liked. Until one day when this guy came up with a genius idea. He said, why don't we just cut pieces of drywall to fit in between each I-joist because the lip on the I-joist will hold it. My phone doesn't do it any justice, but this is the finished ceiling in our movie theater room. It's literally just pieces of drywall with 2x3s going down the middle. Babe, show them how it works.
The best thing about this is it's accessible. So just to show how it's accessible, these are just like panels, like a drop-down ceiling. Comes right out of there just like so. We stuffed insulation up there because this is a movie theater room and it's very noisy down here when we're watching movies.
I love this because that is a wife that truly appreciates her husband. And you can just tell by the look on his face that he is like super humble. But he loves the fact that his wife is so appreciative of him. By the way, that ceiling really does look good.
Men commit sex crimes more than women. It's just not true. We're just not recognizing it. Asking the men around you, even just like when they lost their virginity. And you'll find that the majority of them will have a story where it's like, you'll listen to it and you'll be like, ain't you a victim? Like most of them are like, oh, I lost it at 10, 11 years old to like this 20-year-old. So you talk to male bouncers and how many women they have to like drag out each night because they're walking up, they're groping men. We have this ideology of masculinity.
I would just say you're right.
And that creates a culture against men where if we're not even recognizing that they can be victims because they have to be bigger, because the assault has to be violent. And as women, we can understand this because a lot of times, you know, when we talk about SA or something, if it's not violent, like if we're coerced, if we're, you know, if we got drunk, like there are a lot of people that don't recognize it as SA. So if you're a gender that is stigmatized to be strong, to not be weak, to always want sex, you're breeding a culture of like misandry and a culture where men can be taken advantage of, and they are.
I don't know whose son need to hear this, but you ain't finna fuck me like that and think you finna keep me a secret. Nope, bitch, we going live at 5. Put your best shit on.
Hey, motherfuckers say what they want to say about me. Bitch, let me tell you something. I got the shit to get 70% of the bitches in America. I got 200 out.
Y'all boys right now, you get you a woman that know how to listen to you. You get you a woman that know how to listen without getting offended by what you're saying. You get you a woman that knows how to listen to exactly what you're saying and process her anger appropriately. Because the wrong woman, she gonna hold you back. She gonna set you back from endeavors that you have. You gonna have plans and she gonna do the exact opposite. You gonna be giving instructions. She gonna do the exact opposite. You know what that's gonna cause? Y'all not working together. She's working against you. Trust me, stay away from the women that are actively working. Those women who are actively working against you, stay away from them. You say go left, she go right. You say go right, she go left. You could explain things to her without even cursing or raising your voice. She ain't gonna hear nothing you saying because how she feel about what you said, no matter how you say it. You know, the people, oh, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And then you say it calm and respectful and she still can't control herself. But I'm telling you, she will thwart your purpose and your plan. She will slow you down.
Ladies, y'all gotta stop turning into a private investigator when that nigga cheat, but you don't turn into a private investigator when he's not happy. Facts. Exactly. That is facts. Find out why. Y'all dig when he cheating, but you don't dig to see what you could do to make him happy.
You had a key that could open every lock in the world. That would be a master key. But if you had a lock that could be opened by every key, that would be a lock. If a girl can be attained by every guy in the world, that's not a good girl.
I heard somebody say, if you show a man that you would stay with him through anything, he will put you through everything. I just wanted to share that with y'all.
If you accuse a bitch of doing something and she start calling you insecure and delusional, she did whatever the fuck you just accused her of doing, and kill her.
But if a woman has been with 20 plus men, I guarantee she only has 10 to 15% of her heart intact. The more men push up in you, the more useless you are to just having one.
And can we add?
How you miss me?
Listen to this.
You had me. Like, you had the chance to reciprocate the energy I gave. You didn't do that. Like, you had the chance to plan dates and do special things for me. You didn't do that. Like, you had the chance to send me memes and reels that we could laugh at and you know, joke about. You didn't do that. Like, you had the chance for us to lay up and binge watch shows and movies and, you know, laugh and just spend quality time with each other. You didn't want to do that. So how you miss me? What do you miss? You miss me giving and giving and giving what you not giving nothing in return? Like, you miss me sacrificing everything about myself just to make sure that you good, just to make sure that what we building is going in the right direction? Like, you miss being selfish? That's what you miss? You can't miss me because you had me and you didn't know what to do with me.
I don't think a woman should ever marry a man that does not have a mind to 100% provide for her. If you sit down and you have a conversation with a man as a woman and he's sitting there, he's bringing up 50-50, I want you to come up with 50, I'm going to come up with, he's not a masculine man. If I were a woman, I would dismiss any man that came up with a conversation about 50-50 because he's lacking somewhere in terms of his masculinity.
It's funny that we say stuff like this and we're dead serious about it. So all of a sudden, your partner, your spouse, the one that you're saying that you are willing to do life with, anything and everything, I'll give to you, I'm pledging my life to you, I'm sacrificing for you. All of a sudden, when they say, hey, do you think that you can come up with half of this, I come up with half, and we do this thing together, then all of a sudden, the man is not masculine. He's not in a position, he's not in the mindset to provide, and you should avoid him at all costs. But then you take that same boss babe mindset and that same 50% for the boss babe money, and a client or a partner says, hey man, why don't you and I get together on a joint venture? I think this can be really big. You invest 50%, I invest 50%. As a matter of fact, sometimes some of these women are like, man, I think it's such a great idea, I'll give a little more. Hey, and just call me if you need me. I've got other resources. Maybe I can get other people to sow into this, invest in this. Hey, you need more angel investors? Come over to this party. Maybe you can talk to a couple of them. Maybe you can get them signed on. It's the attitude and the mindset of getting other people involved and having them come and help in the vision. The thing that you two are trying to really build. Oh man, that first year was rocky, but we kept on investing into it. We kept on throwing money at it. And here we are 10, 15 years later, and we've got a $1 million business. We've got a $5 million business, and we're looking to scale in the next year. And now we're on Shark Tank, and we're looking to scale this thing maybe 15, 20 million within the next 2 or 3 years. What do you guys think? Is anybody willing to give an offer? Through ups and downs, thick and thin, at the office late at night, barely getting any sleep, missing holidays, all because you decided, number one, to go 50-50. Not only did you go 50-50, you decided, I believe in this so much, I'm going to go ahead and put more of my own money in. I'm going to actually take out a loan on money that I don't have, and then I'm going to go around and see if I can get more people to sign up for this because I believe in this. But then when we get to relationships, all of a sudden modern women can't go 50-50 with a man, and if he were to suggest that, then he's not masculine. I don't get that. I don't understand that type of thinking. Well, he ain't in a position to provide. So once again, the person that she's going 50-50 with in this partnership is not in a position to push this thing, is not in a position to want to really make this thing go, because they can only give 50% in the investment. Is that what we're saying now? I don't understand. It's always a dig at a man's masculinity.
In a video on here, and they said, no man will give you more advice than a man who want to make you his wife. I agree 100%, because when you messing with a man that want to be with you for the rest of his life, for the most part, he gonna try to teach you everything he know. If he feel like it's something you lacking in, he gonna try to teach you everything you know. He gonna try to give you all the game that somebody has ever given to him, everything he's ever learned or been a sponge to. He gonna try to make sure that you on a straight path, that you know everything going on around you, that you know, keep bullshit people from around you. That man gonna want the best for you. That man gonna try to give you every piece of knowledge that God has given him to you. And sometimes it could be overwhelming, because you'll feel like, oh, he's coming at me like a dad, or oh, it's not that, he just loves you and he wants you to know everything he know. He wants you to learn everything he's learned. He wants you to be everything you can be, because he sees you on a higher level than you've ever seen yourself in your life. Like, share, comment, repost, and hit that follow button.
No, we need to talk about how if a man is trying to push you to improve, that is not an attack. That's love. He's warning you. He's giving you an opportunity to fix some shit before he leave your ass.
Women think the relationship is all about them. They do. Everything is centered around what she wants. And if that's fine, in her mind, everything is cool. And she does not care what the man is going through. She don't care what his challenges are.
I got a post there. It says, as a man, why are you not fighting for the woman you want? I would like to rephrase this fighting word with competing. A lot of women would love to say, why are you not fighting for my love? Shorty, it's not worth fighting for. Well, like I said, I'm going to rephrase it, competing for. There's other men out there who I think would be better for you, because I don't want to compete for you because you really ain't shit. And women don't understand. Why would I have to try to fight for something? It should be organic. If I'm competing in a competition and I beat the competition out, therefore I win, why do I have to still do so much just to get your attention? Like, no, we're not doing that no more. Let me make women understand this logically. Just imagine you tell your guy, why are we not married and we've been together for 5+ years, and he says, you got to fight for my marriage, and you want to get married. Pack it up.
Real shit.
This isn't the flex you thought it was. They were just trying to hit. Nothing more, nothing less.
Name 3 wives in your family right now. Give me 3. Give me 3 wives.
Name 3 wives.
Give me 3 wives. If you can't name me 3 wives you know personally in your family that got your blood running through their veins, f you. F off. Don't say shit else to me. Name 3.
That's fair. I'm trying to think of 3 of my own goddamn
Name 3
family.
wives.
Her body count matters, but the reason isn't what you think. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts you should know. Number 1, women with high body counts do show more instability and lower satisfaction in their relationships later. It is a very small and weak relationship, but it does exist. The reason why will surprise you, and it's not why you think. What is it? Well, number 2, it turns out women with high body counts are treated differently than men with high body counts. There is a stigma. Men get away with it, and women are treated like garbage. So what does that mean? Number 3, it has nothing to do with who her past partners have been or how many there have been, and it has everything to do with how that bothers you and then how you treat her as a result. This is going to make everybody so mad, and I'm okay with it. Why? Because I'm not an influencer. Follow me for daily science-backed reels and click on the link in my bio for free guides and more. Say goodbye to the influencers. Say hello to science.
Well, it's not going to matter how the man treats her, because a lot of men aren't going to want to be with that. They're going to stop that at the front. They're going to cut that off at the front, because that's not what they want. That's why when a man asks, what is your body count? He's seeing if he even wants to be with her. I already know I'm not going to respect a woman like this. I already know I don't want to be with a woman like this. So go ahead and tell me up front and tell me the truth. Now, if she decides to lie and he takes her at her word, then yes, I would in fact treat you differently because you lied. You lied to me about what you were doing. And that would once again indicate how terrible and how shot your character was because you went around messing with other people over and over again. You showed no discipline, which is what I was asking you for your body count, to see what your past was like, to see what kind of decisions you made. Oh, well, you can use, I'm sure you can. You can use a whole bunch, a plethora of things. I get it. But this is what I'm asking you. This is what I value. And if you come in here lying and covering things up, I'll know, first of all, she's going to go out there and be irresponsible. And then when I ask her and I question her about it directly, she's going to get defensive about it. And then she's going to wonder why I treat her differently, as you're talking about, and how I feel about it, as you're talking about, when she in fact was wrong in the first place. Now, if you're talking about a man that goes out there and she says, well, I got 20 bodies, 25 bodies, and he's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And later on down the road, then he's like, oh man, it's going to be a problem for me. Well, you put yourself in that position. Like that's on you, brother. But if a man is trying to get the information and she don't want to tell it, or she tells a lie and that man takes her at her word, then yes, in fact, she probably at some point in time will be unhappy because at some point in time, I will be treating you differently because you lied. Period. These women be talking about a man lied about his height. He's actually 5'11". I thought he was 6'2". But I can't ask about a body count and get mad when you lie? Come on, man.
Ladies, do not give more time and attention, more mental and emotional effort to the neighbors, strangers, church activities, school activities, decorations, to-do lists, whatever. Do not give more of yourself to them than you do to your husband. Many husbands feel like they are the very last thing on their wife's priority list, if they even make the list at all. And they feel like they're just fighting for scraps, leftovers. Now, I get it, right? You have kids, you got the house, you have the cooking and the cleaning and the decorating and taking care of everything and running errands and running the kids' hair and there and doing all the good stuff and then cooking and cleaning again. But you can't let your husband feel like he doesn't matter to you anymore. Because when he opens up and he's vulnerable and exposed and he makes an attempt and he wants to spend time with you and he wants to make love to you and you turn him away for whatever reason, he feels rejected. And that feels humiliating to a lot of men. And they stop wanting to try because they feel like it was so much wasted effort and energy. And they feel frustrated and hurt and they start to pull away. So give your husband all the time and attention and respect and love and intimacy that he desires, and ask for it in return to get all the intimacy and love and time and attention that you desire. And man, it just makes marriage absolutely fantastic.
So when I got off of OnlyFans, I had significant debt. I got off of OnlyFans last year, in the beginning of last year, and I owed taxes for the previous year, right? And so now I'm not making that money anymore. And I just want to encourage you guys, because this is actually happening right now to me. I had a letter from the IRS stating that I owed $288,000. And then from the Tax Board of California, I owed.
This is now the backbone of the American economy. And this is the guy who runs it, and it's not good. OnlyFans is by far the most profitable company in America. The company generates $156 million per employee. Compare that with all these other companies that we think of as powerhouses like NVIDIA, the chip maker, or Alphabet, Google, Walt Disney, Walmart. It's not even close. And so just think about the implications. What happens to society when we have an economy?
Here's why starting OnlyFans was the worst decision I made in my life. I did not realize that I was literally selling parts of my soul and the money could have never made it worth it. I just wish that someone would have warned me and told me that I was going to be later experiencing PTSD from the sexual trauma and the experiences that I was subjecting myself to on a daily basis. I did not know that I would later need to be in trauma counseling. It brought me into way darker places than I ever could have imagined, and I never want to go back there. I wish I could go back in time to who I was before I started doing all that stuff and just tell myself that the money is not worth it. Keep your happiness. And that's all I want to tell any girl who's thinking about starting an account. I just hope I can save even just one girl.
I refuse to do any labor in my life, generally speaking, especially when it comes to men. And the fact that I know exactly what I want and what I don't want is very unnerving usually to men and women. Older women in my life, my own mother, was very uncomfortable when I used to say to her, I am not going to be cooking, cleaning, or serving a man. I don't desire to do it. I don't want to do it. I will not do it. I am not doing it. Okay? And often, actually, it's not just men who shirk at that because they think it's an audacity. They like to accuse me of lacking in femininity, having a chip on my shoulder. I don't really care what they think because as far as I'm concerned, why would I, as an adult human being, serve another adult human being just because I'm a woman? Because you have to realize that a lot of these kind of chores and tasks that are assigned to women is purely because you're a woman. Cooking, cleaning, serving, having sex with them, allowing them to have access to your body. Because let's not even get into the fact that there is a prevailing status quo around women losing bodily autonomy in relationships and marriages. I find that to be disgusting. The fact that men feel entitled to access your body right after childbirth, after serious surgery, like hysterectomies, during the menopause. That some women can't even shower in peace by themselves without a partner standing at the door or being in the shower with them. I know what I want and what I don't want. I am unafraid, unapologetic about being clear. I'll never forget when a man who was interested in me called me up one day and asked me to meal prep for him. It was 2 p.m. in the afternoon and I was at work. He wanted me to meal prep, and I'm not talking a bit of grilled chicken and some vegetables. He wanted a full-on meal of jollof rice, etc. Now let me tell you something. A blender and a plum tomato will never see my kitchen. That is not my role. I was not designed and created to cook and serve a human being that happens to be male. That is not my purpose. That is not my divine purpose or calling. I'm very clear on that. When you have that kind of clarity, it does unnerve and make people feel very uncomfortable.
So far you're talking to us about what you are and are not going to do. Oh, I ain't put on this earth to do this and that, and I ain't going to do this and I ain't going to serve. So I guess he's not going to be serving you either. I guess he don't need to do anything for you either. I guess he wouldn't put on this earth to do anything that you need done either. Do y'all know how stupid y'all sound when y'all talk like this? Grown women sitting up in a house somewhere, in a room, when you could be in the kitchen eating. Talking stupid in a room. Come on, guys.
And that includes men and women, men who say they're interested in you. And what that always reveals to me is that man wants to contain me. Because why you need me when you're an adult and you're a leader, but you need me to cook and clean for you? No. And as I say, older women around me have always felt uncomfortable with my very clear expression of what I do and don't want. I do not do labor, and I'm most certainly not going to be laboring in exchange for respect, in exchange for loyalty. And the reason why this works for me is because I don't want to get married. It's never been a priority. And so marriage and children are never carrots that a man can dangle in front of me. I've had plenty of men who've been interested in me, who've wanted to date me, and they're surprised that at my age, I'm not focused on marriage and children. Their power cards have been withdrawn. Because that means that there's no reason why I'm going to stay in a dynamic, an interaction or a relationship that is not serving me, that is not healthy, that is not respectful, that is not honoring. Because I don't have a clock or a timeline I'm playing to here. I know my worth. For me, I value my self-respect and dignity above all other things and all other people. When you can be really clear unapologetically about what you do and don't want, understand that people will disqualify themselves, but also at times it may feel like you have few options. Now in my case, I don't really care. But for a lot of you women who do want to go into partnerships, do not forsake what you really want. Because trust and believe, when you're in that relationship, sometimes there's no going back. If you don't want to be doing labor, you need to be clear about that. You need to be clear about that because it is labor. Speak less of the emotional labor. This whole talk, speak life into people. It's ridiculous. You need to think about the day to day. Are you going to be happy and content to get up and do that labor? at any time or hour as well. Because there's some of the stuff I see, women getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make a man a sandwich. Ridiculous.
Like I said, avoid these types of women at all costs. They're very, very good at setting boundaries that don't even need to be set. Nobody even asks. I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to do that. What do you expect a man to do for you? The very same ones that expect a man to protect and provide and cook and clean and do their laundry and to, I was sick and the least he could have done was stopped and got me something to eat. I mean, this is the man that says he loves me and he cherishes me and he wants to spend the rest of his life with me. And how could he not give me something to eat? I mean, he's all the way across. Mind you, they're not married yet. They're not married yet. He didn't even care about me. He didn't send me a care package. I was sick, and I see all of these things on social media where they send them something, and they send them a little treat just to make them feel better and to get well soon, and a little teddy bear as well as groceries and takeout so they can feel like they're taken care of and loved. He didn't even do that for me, and y'all not even married. But all of a sudden, a man is supposed to allow you to talk like this. Talk crazy, act crazy, sound crazy, and be, oh yeah, this is my wife. She don't do nothing for me. Oh yeah, no. She don't even give me a hot dog, doc. I love that. Man, that's the life I want to live. Yeah, no, she don't think about me at all. I shouldn't have to get no girl, man, no hot dog. You don't have to, silly. Just like he don't have to bring you no flowers. Just like he don't have to take you on an expensive date. Just like he don't have to consider you when he gets him something to eat and he brings you nothing. Because you could have done that at home. You could have fixed yourself something to eat at the house. But it's the fact that you want somebody else to consider you. And if they actually liked you, they actually cared about you like that, they would have considered you. They would have been thinking about you. Y'all don't think before y'all speak. Y'all don't think. Y'all just start talking. Y'all just start going off. Maybe you had a little bit too much to eat and you're gassy. Maybe you really need to use the restroom. You do that first. Come out and talk to us then. I have no idea. But y'all got to stop this.